There's something strange about the way my mind works, and I don't think I'm the only one, but I've never really heard it explained in a way that fully captures it, so I'm gonna do my best to try to explain it. It feels like I spend more time inside my own head than I do in the actual world that I live in. Not just thinking, but narrating everything, analyzing, rehearsing, like there's this constant inner dialogue running in the background. Commenting on everything I do, everything I say, everything I might say, every thought I have, every thought I don't want to have. And over time, it starts to feel less like a tool and more like a trap. Because when you're always observing yourself, you stop just being. And that bleeds into how I interact with people. On the surface, I think I come across pretty normal, maybe even confident, depending on the situation. I can hold conversations, I know how to respond, I understand timing, tone, all that. But the truth is, a lot of it feels like performance art. Like I've learned the mechanics of socializing, but not the feelings of it. It's almost like I'm playing a role in real time, adjusting how I act depending on who I'm around, making sure I don't say the wrong thing, making sure there's no awkward silence, making sure people are comfortable. And while that might sound like a good thing, it comes at a cost. Because when you're always managing the experience for everyone else, you lose track of yourself. And I think that's where a lot of the disconnect comes from. I'm naturally a quiet person. I keep to myself. I think deeply, probably too deeply sometimes. But instead of just owning that, I've spent years trying to compensate for it. Trying to smooth it out, trying to fit into whatever version of normal I thought people expected. So now there's this weird split. There's the version of me that people see, the one that knows how to act, how to talk, how to blend in. And then there's the version of me that exists underneath all of it. One that's quieter and more put away, uncertain, still figuring things out. And the older I get, the harder it is to ignore that gap. Because in my late 20s now, if I'm being honest, I still don't have it all figured out. Not even close. I don't have some clear sense of purpose or direction. I don't wake up every day with the strong feeling of this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing or anything like that. It's more like I'm moving, but I don't always know where I'm going. And I think that's something people don't talk about enough. There's this pressure to have a clarity by a certain age, as if life is supposed to click into place at some point. But for some of us, it doesn't feel like that. It feels uncertain, it feels open-ended. Sometimes it even feels like it's insanely directionless. But maybe that's not entirely a bad thing. Maybe being lost isn't just confusion. Maybe it's space. Space to question things. Space to actually figure out what matters instead of just inheriting a path and following it blindly. I don't think the problem is that I don't have a purpose. I think the problem is that I've been trying too hard to find one, instead of letting it develop naturally over time. And maybe that starts with something simple, like being a little more honest, not just with other people, but with myself. Dropping the performance even just a little bit, letting conversations be imperfect, letting silence exist, letting myself show up as I actually am instead of who I think I need to be. Because at the end of the day, constantly living in your own head, constantly filtering yourself, it doesn't make you understood more. It just makes you more distant. And I don't want to be so distant, but I don't know how to not be. I'd rather be a little awkward and real and polished and disconnected. But all I do is constantly overthink stuff. So I just don't know how to stop that. It almost feels like it's impossible, but yeah. Thanks for listening.